Why? There are a lot of sewing related tips, tricks, hacks, types of videos out there. Some are legit and absolutely genius, and some less so. And I want to test some of the ones that have the highest number of views on TikTok. And I will try to deem if these tips or hacks are either useful or useless. And before I move on, quick disclaimer, I'm not saying that any of these videos are in and of themselves useless. I do not want to discredit people making content and showing stuff that they think is useful. And some of the videos or tips that I may deem useless may be so as a result of my own lack of understanding or due to incorrect application on my part. That being said, let's move on. So let's see what we can find. Sewing hacks. So the first one is this. Here are some sewing tricks lost for 500 years. So let's check that out.
Here are some sewing tricks lost for 500 years.
I'm always skeptical when I hear a kind of mechanical AI type voice.
Your hoodie sleeves are too long. You don't need to cut them.
That's not a problem for me. It's the other way around.
Just shorten the sleeves as much as needed and then tighten the thread. Cut
Okay,
off and use
kind of
socks
useful.
and sew them into your sweater with this invisible stitch. This can make the sleeves longer and you can continue to wear it for another 2 to 3 years. 3. If the trousers are too long.
Again, not a problem.
Learn this universal sewing method. Sew a circle.
Universal sewing method.
And continue to wear it.
Is it just a regular stitch?
Shorten your trouser legs.
Okay.
For if your jeans have a loose thread, pull the thread from both sides.
Okay, that can be useful.
Like in the video, and gently pull the
So ladder stitch?
So the original thread back just like it was.
I'm not entirely sure what's happening there. Okay, so an issue here is that it's very quick.
5. If your waist is too big, learn this seamless sewing trick.
Okay.
Sew down and up repeatedly, and with the final pull, your waist is resized.
Okay, but just doing that though?
Start from the bottom, pull the thread, then cross both sides, wind the thread, and repeat
Okay.
this action.
You have a fabric underneath, right? Sure. Could be, yeah. Okay, so that seems to be the last one. I'm not sure about this one, because here you basically change the fit of the jeans. It looks to be a greater area, and then you're just kind of removing a lot. Okay, sewing by spinning over. Oh, is it a way to sew a placket? And then sewing around on the top? Okay, that could be good. I haven't sewn a lot of plackets, so I'm not sure what is the correct or traditional way of doing it, but that looked fairly easy. Let's see. Okay, I've never really had the need to do that much. Okay, another cardboard thing where you place, okay. Okay, that one I kind of want to try because I do a lot of bias binding. Test that one. Let's see if it works on curved edges as well. Okay, more. Okay, I've seen this one before. I don't think it's something I would personally use. Tying a beautiful bow. Okay. Oh, it looks very like store-bought. Costume change. I'm gonna check out YouTube as well. Sewing hacks. 5-minute crafts. I've heard rumors that this isn't the most. I'm gonna check it out. Girly, okay. Okay, so her tights are ripped. On the go, okay. Okay, just using a ladder stitch basically. And just, sure, okay, that works. That's quite a like basic thing. Why? Oh, it's an invisible stitch, okay. Oh, okay. That is not bad actually. That works. What? Okay, not gonna use that. Okay. Is she making a pom-pom? Okay, so making a Christmas sweater. Sure, that could work. Again, why are you sewing fruit and veg? Okay, marking your finger to have a gauge. Okay, because obviously it's her problem that he's... And everyone has panties in their handbag. Why? I'm stopping this here. I think we're seeing a trend. I'm not gonna... So I'm starting off with the one that I think will be a bit silly, which is the one where I use a ladder stitch to make jeans fit better. Is this useful or is it useless? I have a feeling, but let's not be prejudiced here. It's realistic, really. But I put on a pair of pants that are a bit too big because they used to be my fiance's and I just sort of stole them when they didn't fit him anymore. So I'm just gonna take it in. And as far as I could tell in the video, they sort of tapered it down to this point. So I'm not really going to do a lot in terms of pinning it further. Here I have made this sort of dart shape from the top of the pocket and towards the top. Just letting the edges stay apart like this to see if we can do like pull the thread and gather this dart. This part will not be pleasing to look at just because you will not be able to see the thread. I'm going to do this sort of movement all the way down like a ladder stitch. I'll come back when I'm all the way down here and we'll see how it actually works. Now I have done the prep. I'm gonna try to pull on the thread and see if that kind of viral effect happens. I have a sneaky suspicion it might just snap the thread, so I'm gonna try to do it really carefully. Yep. That is what I thought. Let's see if I'm able to salvage this. Whew. What do you guys think? Down here it sort of works, because here you have just one layer of fabric, so that can relatively easily be pushed to the side. Moving up here, where you have the waistband, that doesn't work. And doing it sort of the viral way, for sure not. First of all, I would suggest doing it on the sewing machine. You would have to do this a fairly strong seam. And also when you're going like straight down and then to the side, it doesn't match up. So you have a bit too much fabric on this side and a bit too little here. It will want to meet further up. Overall, I would deem this useless. Looks cool on video, but I wouldn't do that. So that was one hack. Next up, I thought I would try the bias binding hack with the piece of cardboard that you fold up so that you just put it on in one swoop. The person is using some sort of double-sided tape. I do not have that. I have regular tape that I'm just going to fold twice, and I have the cardboard back of the tape. I also have store-bought bias binding, so I'm just going to measure each part so that I can fold it up correctly. I have found a piece of fabric that I'm going to use for this. One side, which is quite straight, so that should be easy. So I think maybe I'll place it there, maybe. Open this up, place the bias binding inside, and then just sort of wrap this, first like this, and then I'll put this like here, and then I just there, and then again. I did not take into account the thickness that will be folded in here as well. How on earth is this gonna feed through? Yeah, that was what I was afraid of, that this is kind of holding this in place too hard. I'm gonna give it one more try with different dimensions where this is slightly bigger to account for the thickness of the layers within. So I'm back with what should hopefully fit a tad better. What kind of stuff are they working with there that makes theirs fold so easily? Maybe it's actually paper or something. Just trying to tug on it slightly and it's completely stuck. I'm trying paper. Final attempt. And again, I'm just placing it like before the last one. Feels a bit too strained. Again, it's not feeding through. Also, it is okay. Let's see. Maybe we're getting somewhere. And also this doesn't necessarily stay in place. Maybe if I concentrate on this and not so much the bias binding. Nah, I'm giving up on this one. Could it be that I did this incorrect? Yes, sure. Could it be the fact that there is a slight curve to this edge? That could also be. I just feel like if it doesn't handle that, I'm not sure if I would use it. I think it's just as easy to do that by pressing it in half like this and just holding it in place. And I feel when I have that contraption there, it gives this weird friction. Please let me know in the comments if you disagree and maybe you feel like I botched this. Do I find this hack useful or useless? I would say useless for me. But that is, at least for now, my take on this hack. So moving on. So next up, I want to do one of those invisible stitches that I've seen in a lot of TikTok videos, and I've done invisible stitches, just not in this way. And I usually use this kind of invisible stitch on a hem. So I've just prepared a piece of red fabric and I've just folded the lower edge. I'm gonna try to hem this basically using this invisible stitch. So it looks like they're going in like so and going back in, not like in the hole, but almost in the hole, and moving forth like this. It looks as though they're doing like this, catching that loop and going back, I think, into here. So not going into the hole, but just beside it, which is kind of like other invisible stitches where you sort of just take the minimal amount of fabric from this side and the hem side. So I'm gonna leave it at this. What they're doing after, I'm not entirely sure, but they're going back through this and dragging on it. Okay. Oh. That doesn't work. There seems to be one place where I've gone like through the thread somehow. I'm just gonna try to see if I can just snip that. So that's it. And sure, it is fairly invisible on this side. Would I say it's easier in any way? It's hard to tell exactly. I found it harder to determine whether or not I got the amount of fibers from this side that I wanted. So maybe that just takes a bit of practice and being a bit more vigilant than I was at this point, because I have two here that aren't stuck to this side. I'm gonna try it one more time, just being mindful of that and seeing if I find it working better. So I've done a new stretch of the stitch here and dragging on it. Yeah, let's see the back first. Yeah, I have one that didn't catch. So overall, it does create an invisible stitch. I'm not sure if this is an uncommon stitch, by the way. Do let me know if it is and I've just missed it. There are two things mainly that would deter me from using this stitch, and that is, first of all, when I'm going back in here, I find it difficult to see where exactly I'm putting the needle down. I also find it a bit difficult not to take small fibers from this loop. So I would say not useless, but I'm not sure I would use it. There is a lot of this loose sewing and then tightening. If you're doing it for like an entire hem, for instance, or something like that, I would not trust that not breaking. So do the stitching in the right tension in the first place instead of going for the cool effect. So next up, I'm gonna try the Placket. So I've actually never drafted a Placket before, so this is new for me. What I would do here before doing anything else would be to just sew around to make sure that maybe they have done that. I'm gonna do that first, give them the benefit of the doubt and just sew a seam around here just to make sure it doesn't unravel when I cut the corners here. There we go. Opening it up like this and sewing it on in a straight line. I'm gonna try to draft a type of binding here as well. 22. I have just pressed in the seam allowance and pressed it in two like this. I sort of feel like a lot of these hacks are basically just skipping steps and so on. I'm gonna try to get this now in one go. If I have it double like this, I feel I need to sew further in to make sure I catch both edges. Oh, that's further than I need. Ignore the crookedness of the seam. So we're doing like this, that is fine. We're folding these over, and then I think they're doing like this, and then going out to the side like this, creating a corner, and then, no. I think this is as close as I'm gonna get. I put on one pin here just to have it relatively in place, and I'm gonna try to top stitch, but this is very thick and I'm scared I'm gonna break a needle. Final thoughts. I think this is too thick. Even if I top stitch it neater, it would still look thick and a bit clunky. I don't think I would use this. I'm not gonna say it's useless because I feel like there is a slight chance of just user error here. Either way, I don't think I would do it in one go with one top stitch like this. I think it's so easily botched. I don't have a lot of stuff to reference from here, but I do remember doing it once and it wasn't this clunky. So not useless, but not useful to me. I'm gonna try to make a bow. There was one video, looked very simple, looked very professional, and maybe we have one hack that ends up giving useful results. What I like about this instruction is that it has specifics for sizes, two pieces that are 14 by 32 centimeters. I've cut that here and I'm gonna sew them like a tube. So I'm just folding these over, sewing around, turning it out, and then closing the end. So I'm just gonna do that off camera. These two pieces are prepped, so I'm gonna try to follow this now. So like this, and then the other like this, and then they're putting this on top of something like this, I think, and then they're bunching it up along the middle. Ooh, it's a bit too thick. Maybe it works. Okay, so it looks nice. It looks nice. After scrunching this up, I just take some white thread and then I'm just gonna tie this, because at the end they're finishing off with some sort of band. I have this, so I'm gonna take that around, and there we go. That looks nice. This is the first one that I would deem useful out of these hacks and tips. So I'm just gonna secure this in the back here, just like that in the back, and hand sew over this seam. And that would be it. That is the first one that I would call useful and was fairly easy. Now those were the ones that I'm gonna attempt in this video. I'm sure there are others that would be equally exciting. If you like this video, please let me know if you want a part 2 of this. I would definitely be up for it if there are other hacks maybe that I haven't tried. Please let me know in the comments. There weren't a lot of these that were very successful. I feel like the only one that I'll probably use again is the bow, and I'm not even sure that's a hack, more like an instruction or a way of doing it. If you feel like I botched one of them while testing these, do please let me know. I'm very open for that reality. Please leave a like below if you like this video, and maybe a comment if you have any input input on the hacks that I tried or the way that I try them. If you want to support the channel more directly, I have a Patreon page. It's a purely support tier page for now, where you can be a member and support the channel. A special thank you to my existing Patreons for helping me continue doing this, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.